It's the most routine of everyday tasks, but for Chris King, this is a test passed with flying colours.
You are, John.
Thank you very much, Chris. You don't have your one after all that.
No, I'll have yours.
For Chris, making a cup of tea is little short of a medical miracle. This was Chris 5 years ago. Both his hands were crushed in a metal pressing machine at work. Surgeons had no alternative but to amputate his fingers and much of the hands themselves, leaving just his thumbs.
It was very difficult times. I had some big crying days. And that was the first time I prayed to God. God help me.
Salvation was to come 3 years later, when Chris became the first person in the UK to have a double hand transplant.
It's just gone perfect. It was like the hands were made to measure.
I cupped my hands like that.
Now he's been back to Leeds General Infirmary, where he had the operation, for one of his regular checkups with Simon Kay, the plastic surgeon who led this pioneering team.
What about shaking hands,
Shaking
Chris?
hands is fine. I love doing it.
Because you must have gone a long time without shaking hands.
Yes.
So what did it feel like when you first were able to?
Marvellous.
What's special about shaking hands?
Oh, I don't know. It feels as though you're part of the human race again.
Exactly.
Because I've always described it as this mainstream, and I was sort of just off, and I wasn't connected.
So now you are.
Now
So when you greet
hands
somebody,
like
you can
that.
shake, and it's a good grip too, isn't it?
It is a good grip.
It's not a wet handshake.
No. And
Excellent.
now I am connected.
The UK's first hand transplant was carried out at the LGI in 2012. Subsequently, the hospital was chosen by the Health Service to carry out the highly complex surgery for patients across the whole country, paid for by the NHS.
I was brought up outside the NHS actually. I was a Channel Islander, but when I had a bad hand injury, I was flown to a unit in the south of England, and it was the plastic surgery and reconstruction I received then that drove my interest in my career from then on. And that must have been within the first 10 years of the NHS. And the interesting thing is I travel around to international conferences detailing our work, is most of the other surgeons are very interested in our work, but they're really interested in the NHS. They can't believe that that anybody in Britain can access healthcare without showing a credit card or paying any money up front, and it's there when they need it. And the Americans particularly, but also the Continentals, cannot understand that.
What's perhaps easier to understand is the joy that Chris, a big snooker fan, felt when he played his first game of pool with his new hands. He lost, by the way, to his brother Andrew, but insists he beat Andrew later at 10-pin bowling.
So we'll do some work on your fine motor.
And it's thanks to occupational therapy sessions with experts like Joe at the LGI that he's getting more of his hand function back.
We have a really good relationship, don't we? And you have to, because you spend so much time together, don't we? And you go through the ups and the downs together. And it definitely is a partnership. It's a team, we're a big team, we work together, and Chris is at the centre of that team.
Mandy, you shouldn't have cut my nails.
That's it.
I can't praise them enough. There's no words that I could ever write down to thank them. They do such a tremendous job, and really, the best thing I can do for them to show appreciation is to be a success at what I do and push on, push for that 100% use of my hands. Even though I may never get it, still keep pushing and still making them proud.